Hey guys, it's me Pinky. Today we have the Layers of Flame. After we had yesterday the recharging state only and the Lost in the Smoke event, which will go over a few days. And normally with the Layers of Flame you always get a big 5 weapon and sometimes another weapon. So we had Cersei and Jon, and I think the other weapon was always Hector so far. But this time, the first time, we don't have a big 5 weapon. We have Salma's weapon inside. So like, if you look here, you can get a 25 fragment of a mighty Skudless fragment. I have no clue how to pronounce that correctly. And yeah, well, it's cool that they finally sell it, because if we now look onto the main hand, I don't think they will change it anymore. If you look onto the main hand when it comes onto the server first time and it's not sold, it's always risky because they could change it still until they start to sell it, and after they start to sell it, they did so far not change anything. I don't think it's a good idea to get this with the Layers of Flame, because you would need to make 4 complete rounds to unlock it, which means, it would be pretty expensive to get it. Since Hector was also at the start only in the Layers of Flame and then got sold normally, I expect the same to happen with Salma. So Salma will soon be sold in a normal 200 BD pack, which makes it, from all the CAF commanders, the only one you can buy like classic, because Layla, Leanna, and Enzo, they are all for arrows. Rob is free to play, and Salma you can then controlled buy and the price and so on. Now it's the question, how good is the main hand? And for that, I would say it's a good one, because, well, Salma's impact on the female lineup is pretty big. Even though you could argue that you don't get an extra attack, you just move your attack from second 40 to the first second, but doing that means you attack with all your troops, so your first hit does way more damage than the hit in second 40, at least, let's say, in a real fight, and not if you clean up someone that won't do damage to you anyways. But let's say in Glory Battle, if you lose half your army, you will of course do a lot more damage in the first second than after 40 seconds. So I think it's a good one, and the change for unlocking the weapon might read very little, because it's only changing to a 100% activation from 80%. 80% of course means from your 5 commanders. If you have 5 females, in theory 4 should activate, but I can show you an example where I took the Lord with some Salma activations, and even though I had more troops in the first fight, I had no Salma activations, so the Lord got away. So even with 80%, you can technically have no activations or 5 activations. So it's still lucky, which is a big problem in my mind for the female lineup. And with Salma's main hand, you will be less luck dependent, which is, in my mind, very good. Every commander will activate at second 1, no question. And then the question is a bit, what will happen if you 4-star her? And if you 4-star her, there are 2 changes. This is one thing, the damage coefficient goes to 150%. I believe this is a true 150%, so like a crit, and not like normally your commanders are doing 260% damage, and it's not going up to 310%. In my mind, the coolest change, if you 4-star the weapon, is a lot of people like to block Salma in, for example, UT or in Glory Battle. It will also happen often a lot, where people, like when they are full inf, for example, they will send some spears and cast in front. So if Salma activates, you only kill like 50 spears instead of 10k inf, because they only have 50 spears in front. But with the 4-star weapon, if you defeat a troop type, you will cast again. So it means the Salma blocking to reduce her damage doesn't really work as well anymore. And this also has some very good synergies. So if you try to block Salma, you will, let's say you have Senel, not everyone has Senel, but if you have her, you will stack up Senel a lot faster. Also, every attack that you do extra has a chance to activate Cersei. So it's working quite well with other commanders in combination. So I'm looking forward to Salma's main hand, and I will for sure get her because it's cavalry main hand, so you can get easy cavalry base. And like I said, 0 stars is already good because you are eliminating the luck. 4 stars, I don't think I will 4 star any of the weapons. But if so, I think Salma looks the best right now.